The month of September is recognized as National Life Insurance Awareness Month and Self-Care Awareness Month. Well, how about that? And prioritizing one's health and wellness and ensuring that you and your family have life insurance makes such a unique collaboration and relationship between the two that I had to do a deep dive. And what you're going to discover here is that there is a profound relationship between self-care and having life insurance.
Today's episode of Reset to Reinvent podcast is brought to you by the Adams Group Agency, developing final expense leaders.
Hello, and welcome and enjoy and welcome episode 25 of Reset to Reinvent podcast. I am your host, Helen Blocker Adams. I am so excited about today's episode. I know you probably say, gosh, she says that at the beginning of every show. Yeah, pretty much, because, I try to give it all to you. I try to give it all to you. And so check this out. Self-Care Awareness Month is also in the month of September. I wasn't aware of that until recently, actually a few days ago, when a friend of mine brought that to my attention. Now, the idea that Self-Care Awareness Month and Life Insurance Awareness Month, that cannot be a coincidence. So the inquisitive person in me, the curiosity seeker in me, the critical thinking person that I am, I had to figure out, what is a correlation? Is there a correlation when you think about self-care and what self-care is all about? And of course, we know what life insurance is all about. And of course, if you missed episode 24, you've got to listen to last week's episode of Reset to Reinvent podcast. I mean, I brought it to you straight and no chaser. You've got to take a look at it. So here's what I want to do first before we get into really deep into today's episode as we explore self-care and the relationship of having a life insurance policy. What I wanted to do is do some research on the term self-care. We've been hearing it a lot over the years, over the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and a lot. It's part of a lot of people's platforms, is what they talk about, is what they live, and they use that term, self-care, self-care, self-care. And so I said, I wonder, when did that come about? So I did a little bit of research. So check this out. The term self-care first emerged in the 1950s, okay, in the medical community, which kind of makes sense, right? Okay, to describe patients managing their own conditions and autonomy. It gained more widespread use in the 1970s when activist groups like Black Panther Party politicized the concept, framing it as an act of resistance and community preservation against systemic neglect. Okay, so in the 1950s, a recap, the medical origins, the term was initially used by health professionals to encourage patients to manage their own health and well-being. Okay, it was especially relevant in discussions about the deinstitutionalization of chronically ill and elderly individuals, emphasizing patient autonomy. Okay, now in the 1970s and onward, politicized and mainstream. It became more politicized and mainstream in the 1970s. The Black Panther Party and other civil rights activists like Audre Lorde repurposed repurposed self-care as an act of political resistance and community preservation. Now, Lord famously stated that, check this out, and this is a quote: caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. And that is an act of political warfare, unquote. So this activist use contrasted with the later, more individualistic and consumerist interpretation of self-care that became popular in mainstream. And I just thought that was really fascinating as we think about the term self-care, because we do hear it a lot. And I think a lot of people tie it in with mental health, mental well-being, emotional well-being. All of that ties together. And we're going to share some things in today's episode. But I want to give you a little bit more history, just a little blurb about Audre Lorde. And I remember reading a book, having to read a book by her. I can't remember the name of it right now, but when I was working on my master's program with Southern New Hampshire University, and I was majoring in, got my master's in English. And I remember there was a literature book that I read by Audre Lorde, and that was my first time hearing her. But she was an American writer. She was a professor. She was a philosopher, an intersectional feminist, poet, and civil rights activist. Now, she died on November 17th, 1992, from breast cancer. Okay. She documented her battle with breast cancer in the cancer journals. And I just thought that was kind of interesting since, I journaled my experience of breast cancer and wrote a book about it, Unusual Determination. So Self-Care Awareness Month is in the month of September. How about that? It serves as a reminder that taking care of oneself is essential for a healthy and fulfilling life. It encourages individuals to prioritize their well-being, recognizing that neglecting self-care can lead to increased stress and burnout. Key practices. I'm going to share some key practices that you can use and employ beginning right now. Okay, some of those activities include self-care activities include exercise, which I know I've got to do more of, okay, healthy eating, getting enough sleep, and spending time in nature. And of course, spending time in the Word, spending time in whatever your spiritual connection is. So reflect on your well-being. A lot of us, especially as women, we're so concerned about everybody else. We've got to take care of our loved ones. We got to take care of them, and we put ourselves on the back burner. But when we do that, it's to our peril. Because think about it. When you get on an airplane, what's the first thing the flight attendants tell you when they give you the instructions? They tell you when it's time and when it's necessary, and you have to put on the face mask to protect yourself and give you oxygen. They say, put it on yourself first. That's called self-care. That's called self-preservation. Then you consider and put it on the person next to you, your child or your loved one. Okay. You got to take care of yourself. So reflect on your well-being. Take time to assess your current health and identify areas where you could improve. That means going to get your annual checkup, going to get your annual mammogram, ladies. Okay. The month of October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I will be diving into that topic in the month of October. I promise you. But take care of and reflect on your well-being. Something else, seek professional help if needed. I'm a big advocate for mental health awareness. Okay. And too many people, there's such a negative stigma regarding getting and seeking mental health from a professional. But forget about that. It's about taking care of yourself. So if you're struggling If you are struggling with mental health illness or other challenges, it's important to reach out to a healthcare provider. Okay. I give you permission. I give you permission to do that. Spread awareness. That's what we're doing here on this podcast, spreading awareness, encouraging others to prioritize their self-care, okay, as well. Encourage them, spread the awareness. Another thing that we can do is celebrate their and your accomplishments. A lot of times people don't realize it's those little changes, those little wins. It could mean maybe you're drinking a soda every day. Okay, a Coke or a Sprite or a ginger ale or something with sugary drink, one a day. Okay, now you know that's too much. Okay, let's just be real about that. But so what you can do is maybe in the next week you're drinking one every 6 days or 6 days a week, and then the next week. So celebrate those small wins. Okay, take care of oneself is a worthy goal, and it's important to acknowledge and celebrate any of the progress that you have made. It's so important. Okay, so I want to talk about the 7 pillars of self-care. And I found this article, I just thought it was really good, by a woman named Macy Burkett. And she's with the University of Kansas, and it was on their website. And it caught my attention, the 7 pillars of self-care. We're talking about self-care, self-awareness month in the month of September. So we all know that self-care is extremely important. Okay, I think we got that right. Especially if you think about it, we're in September, we're soon approaching the holiday season, where that is the most stressful time of the year. It's a happy time for many of us, but it's a sad time as well. And let me just go ahead and say this: when we think about life insurance, guys, the months of October through February, March, April are considered the most, statistically more deaths occur in those months than any other collective series of months than any time of the year between October and February, March timeframe. Okay, think about it. That's the holiday season. A lot of people have lost their loved ones in the months of November, December, and January. I know I have. Okay, I know I have. I lost my father in January, the month of January. I lost my only sister in the month of January. I lost my favorite uncle in the month of January. Okay. And it's just something about the month of January is like, oh my gosh. But okay. So what you can do, you can practice self-care in many ways. And we talked about it: exercise, eating well, meditating, seeking therapy. Each method of self-care fits into 7 pillars. And I'm going to elaborate on each one: mental, emotional, physical, environment, spiritual, recreational, and social. Okay, so the first one, let's talk about one of these 7 pillars. And these are, once again, you can grab these, you can slow this down, you can rewind it so that you can grab all of these. And one of the things that the author says in that article is that it is important that we employ and embrace all of them, not just cherry pick a few of them for them to really have the full effect of your self-care. Okay. All right. So the first one is spiritual. Activities or practice that gives you a sense of meaning, provide you with spiritual self-care. You know, some of these activities or practices could be spending time or attending church or your synagogue or wherever your place of worship is. That's so important. Go and spend time out in the sun with Mother Nature. Oh my goodness, finding a community, and that community can be online, virtual. It could be in your particular community where you live. Find people and places and things that identify with your values, okay, that are important to you. Volunteer with an organization that means a lot to you. So that's the first It's first pillar, one of the 7 pillars. That's the first one. I hope I can be able to keep up. Okay. The second one is mental. Mental self-care involves creating a healthy mindset through mindfulness and curiosity. Now, I've always been a curious person, and that's why when I thought about the idea of Life Insurance Awareness Month in September, self care awareness month. Okay, let me see how these two correlate. Let me see how these collaborate in the relationship between the two. And I'm going to dive into the life insurance awareness part, the life insurance as in having a life insurance policy. Okay, awesome. So you got to stay, you got to keep listening. Okay, now you can do this in terms of mental self-care. Involves creating a healthy mindset through mindfulness and curiosity. Okay, you can do this through journaling, meditation, thinking outside of the box, creating a brain dump list. Okay, a brain dump list at the start of each day, and taking an intentional break and not be guilty about it, whether it's watching a good movie or going to the movies or listening to your favorite song on the radio or getting on the phone and calling your friends or family. Okay, these are the 7 pillars. This is the on the third pillar now of self-care, emotional. To practice the emotional self-care, you want to create healthy coping strategies for any stresses that might occur in your daily life. Okay, you can do this by watching your favorite movies. And like I said a second ago, not feeling guilty about it. Listening to music. I love to listen to music. Writing positive affirmations. Journaling. Asking others for help if necessary. Okay? Setting boundaries to protect yourself and your heart. You got to protect your heart because people can disappoint you. They can let you down. They can let you down. So you got to protect your heart. Okay. That's that emotional self-care. That's so important. Okay. Pillar number 4. I believe this is number 4. I didn't number these guys. Okay. Sorry. Physical self-care involves taking care of your body with rest, nutrition, and movement. Okay. Movement. That can mean walking just a little bit, 15. My oncologist a couple of weeks ago told me, Helen, you have got to start moving more. Yes, I had 2 knee replacements and having problem with my hip. And so walking for extended period of times, it hurts. It hurts, but somehow I've got to figure out a way to push through what she suggested to me. And I haven't employed it. So, I'm just being transparent. She said 10 minutes in increments a day. Okay, so I can do a total of an hour of walking in a day, but in 10 minutes, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes there. And so I've really got to start doing that. So I've got to own up to that so that I can take care of my physical self-care. So other examples of physical self-care includes eating meals at regular times. For those of you who do not drink a lot of water, you need to drink a lot of water to flush your system out. I do drink a lot of water. every day, okay, taking a daily multivitamin, getting a good night's sleep. I'm told, 5 to 8 hours is a good range, okay. Trying a new group fitness class, maybe you can get involved with a line dancing group, okay. And then, of course, going back to eating meals at regular times. For some of you who don't eat your breakfast in the mornings, I recommend you eating something breakfast in the mornings. That's important. It gets your day going. Okay. Environmental. Okay. Environmental is another pillar. I believe it's the fifth. Let's see. It is the fifth of 7 pillars. I think I've got it right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Environmental, taking care of the places around you and the places you love. You need to practice environmental self-care. To do this is rearrange your workspace, wherever you work on a regular basis in your home, wherever you spend time in your home, arrange it so that it's comfortable. It's your quiet place. It's your place for peace. My home is a place of peace. It's a place of refuge. It's an oasis for me. The way I designed it, my color scheme and all of that, the way the rooms are laid out, it's designed to be an oasis for anybody that comes in my front door. Okay. And I will tell you, anybody that comes here, they will let you know that there's a sense of peace and comfortableness here in my home. So that's important. Rearrange your workspace with a peaceful arrangement. Explore new places when you think about environmental. Declutter your living space or walk outdoors and appeal to your 5 senses. Okay. We're talking about 7 pillars of self-care. The sixth one is recreational. It's important to make time for hobbies and activities that interest you. I've been hearing a lot over the past, I don't know, 5, 7, 8 years, pickleball. Pickleball is a lot of fun, a lot of exercise, a lot of moving around, and that's becoming more and more popular, especially for people 40 and 50 and above. Okay, all right. So doing so will result in practicing recreational self-care when you can find hobbies and activities that interest you. We're talking about self-care. Is Self-Care Awareness Month, the month of September. Some of those activities can include taking time out for hobbies, going on an adventure, taking time to relax and do nothing. Now, I love to do that. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize, I'm an introvert in many ways. Okay. So I'm comfortable being by myself, spending time in home and there's no music on, no TV on, nothing on. Okay. It just gives me that sense of peace and gives me an opportunity to think and to pray and to meditate. Playing board games or video games and switching up your daily routine. Okay. We're talking about recreational self-care. Okay. And the last one, the 7th of the pillars, is social. Building relationships and making connections with healthy boundaries is the best way to practice social self-care. Oh my goodness. Wow. Some examples of social self-care are connecting with friends, calling your relatives, writing a letter to a friend. I know that is, a letter, a postage stamps. What is a postage stamps even? Postage stamp even cost these days. But you know what? It is something special about receiving a letter or receiving, besides a bill, in the mail. Okay, y'all feel me? Absolutely. Talking to a support group and then chatting with an online community, being able to chat with an online community like my new HBA Academy that actually was launched last week. And I'm going to talk more about that. But it's a school community that's designed to bring all of us, you and you and you and you, together in one area so that we can be able to dialogue on a regular basis. And I'm really, really excited about that. Okay. So September is so as we make this transition and we're talking about Self-Care Awareness Month. Okay, the month of September. It's also National Life Insurance Awareness Month. And so the title of this episode, remember, is Discover the Relationship Between Self-Care and Having Life Insurance. Discover the relationship between self-care and having life insurance. So I have a friend that I met over 20 years ago. Okay. Actually, I met her and her husband. We were involved with a network marketing organization many years ago. Okay. And they were living in Atlanta at the time, and we would go to meetings. And so over the years, we haven't seen each other in years, but I stay in contact and watch her primarily on LinkedIn. Okay, now this woman right here, Beverly, hers Beverly Daly Grandison. She focuses on health and wealth. She posts positive informational messages and challenges. She does a lot of challenge type of things that relates to one's health. Okay, so you can look her up on LinkedIn, Beverly Dale Grandison. Okay, and I'm going to give you her website in just a moment. But she posted something recently that just ties in with what we're talking about here today: the relationship between self-care and having a life insurance policy. Okay, she says that your greatest wealth is health. Now, I know this is not new. It's not new, but it's something that she posted and it got my attention. And I wanted to give her some props and show her some love on this particular episode that I know she's going to love. Beverly is a certified worksite wellness specialist, corporate wellness. She educates and empowers through nutrition and aeroponic gardening. Okay. She and her husband, Johnny, have a company called Premier Health Wellness. Premier Health Wellness. And if you type in premierhealthwellness.com, you'll be able to see all of the goodies. Okay. Infinity Empowerment Services. You deserve so much more. That's her theme. That's her mantra. Please go and check her out. Okay. Or you can visit her website, premierhealthwellness.com. I believe they are truly a power couple. But I want to read something that she put in the post. It says, your greatest wealth is health. And I'm going to show you now. Isn't she gorgeous? For those of you who are looking at this on YouTube, isn't she absolutely gorgeous? Yes, she is. So she says, you can have a dream job, the house, the car, the title, the money in the bank. But if your health is falling apart, none of it truly matters. When your body is weak, when your energy is gone, when you're in and out of doctor's offices, suddenly those achievements don't feel as fulfilling. The truth is, without health, you can't fully enjoy the life you work so hard to build. Health is the foundation that supports every other success. It's what gives meaning to the goals you chase, the relationships you nurture, and the legacy you want to leave behind. Does it sound like life insurance or what, guys? Come on now. Without it, everything else starts to crumble. So ask yourself, are you investing as much in your health as you are in your hustle? Oh, wow. Are you investing as much in your health as you are in your hustle? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your energy, guard your body, choose habits today that create freedom tomorrow. Man, that is good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you want to learn more about where she's coming from, you got to go check it out. Check out premierhealthwellness.com. But here's what made me start thinking: the relationship as we transition to having life insurance, and the relationship between self-care and having life insurance. That quote, your greatest wealth is your health. Okay, so there is a relationship. So I did some deep diving. The relationship between having life insurance and self-care can be understood through a few key points. Check this out. Now I know I'm sharing a lot of key points and this and that in this episode, but you got to grab it all because there is a relationship between self-care and life insurance, having life insurance. And the fact that both of them are an awareness opportunity in the month of September, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to be able to put these two together, guys. I'm just saying, okay? So the number one key point, the relationship between having life insurance and self-care, financial security. Life insurance provides financial security for your loved ones in the event of your passing, not in the event of is when you pass, when you die. Okay? This peace of mind can reduce stress and anxiety, contributing to better mental well-being. The second one, planning for the future. Engaging in self-care often involves planning for the future. Remember, we're talking about the exercise and the eating better and all of that. Well, it's the same thing when you're buying a life insurance policy, when you're planning for your family, whether it's through health, wellness, or financial stability. Life insurance is a part of a comprehensive strategy to ensure that you and your family are protected and prepared for unforeseen circumstances. Oh my goodness, this is good stuff, guys. Encouraging healthy habits. This is another key point. When people invest in life insurance, they may feel more motivated to maintain their health and well-being, knowing that they're taking steps to secure their family's future. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. Holistic approach. Check this out. Holistic approach to well-being. Self-care encompasses physical, emotional, and financial health. Life insurance fits into this holistic view by addressing financial health, which can impact overall well-being. This one is my favorite. Okay. Now, last week, this next one coming up is my favorite. Last week, I shared with you that if you do not have life insurance, you are being selfish. Okay. Check out number 5, reducing guilt. Knowing that you have life insurance can alleviate feelings of guilt about leaving dependents without support, which is a part of emotional self-care. Oh my gosh. So overall, guys, life insurance can be seen as a component of a broader self-care strategy where individuals take proactive steps to care for themselves and their families. I really hope that you guys grab a hold of this information that I've shared for you for this episode 25. That I just, just this, the idea, the collaboration, the relationship between self-care and having life insurance, it just makes sense. It just simply makes sense. Okay, so I hope that it does to you, and I hope that you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have putting it all together. So before we wrap up, I want to give you another insight to HBA Academy. It's a school community that if you go on school, that's SKOOL, and just type in HBA Academy, you will find me. But HBA Academy is a highly engaging, educational, inspirational, motivational, community-based platform, primarily for women and entrepreneurs, the same people who are listening to my podcast. I want you to find HBA Academy, become a member, because here's what you're going to do. You're going to get access to personal and professional books that I've written, focusing on everything that can be able to help your business, sales, oh gosh, just all kinds of things dealing with personal and professional development. You can go in and there's a trial run. You can go and join, become a member, test it out, look at all of what we're offering over a 7-day period. And if it seems like something you want to be a part of and have ongoing access access to, because I'm going to be adding more and more to it as more and more of you say, well, Helen, you know what? I'm struggling in this area. Can you provide an online course or an ebook on this? Oh my goodness, yes, I will find it. I will write it. I'll put it together, whatever we need to do. So if you're in sales, insurance, small business, or need a boost in your personal, professional development to help you up the career ladder, HBA Academy is for you, baby. Let me tell you, it is for you. So you can find the link to go there in the footer of my podcast on YouTube, and you'll find the link on any of my social media platforms. There is the LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. You'll see my HBA Academy link there. So you can just find it in any of those places. But if you can't find it there, send me an email to reset2reinvent@gmail.com and I'll send you the information. Okay. There's a free trial so you can check it out. So you have nothing to lose. And you already know. You already know I'm going to give it all I got. I'm going to give it all I got. Okay. So as we finish up today's show, I want you to make sure that you like, subscribe, download this episode, share it with your friends, scroll down to the footer and all of the details are there where you can support our podcast. And I'd like for you to comment on YouTube and subscribe to YouTube and just tell me what you think. Tell me how you're enjoying it. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Talk to me, say something. Okay. All right, guys, you guys are amazing. I want to thank you so much for listening and watching Reset to Reinvent podcast. Why? Because you deserve to be inspired.
Reset to Reinvent podcast. We are living in uncertain times. Job security is becoming more elusive. People are losing their jobs. Companies are closing. But wait, have you ever considered a career as an insurance agent? Just a thought. Our much talked about ebook, 8 Reasons to Become a Life Insurance Agent, can help you decide if it's for you or not. Order your copy today. Visit our website, Reset to Reinvent, and click on the Reinvent store. Who knows? It may be the best decision you've made in a long time.